Hello everyone, this is Kyle at Milster Gardens, and it is very hot out today, so we are going to talk about our houseplants, and in specific, I'm going to show you the philodendrons that we have in the store. So if you're looking for a houseplant that is unusual, that's easy care, the philodendrons are awesome because they hit both those items. They look very unusual. They look like rare plants, even if they're not like a rare variety or whatever. And they're easy care. They just like bright and direct light. They like fast draining soil mix and to basically dry out pretty good before you water them again. And we have lots of different types. Let me flip the camera around. So as you can see, we have a large selection of houseplants in general right now, but this is where our philodendrons are on the top shelf mostly, but also kind of spread throughout the store. And there's different types, and I guess we'll just talk about them as we go. A lot of these things are the first time I've grown these, so I'm not like super expert. So this first one is Philodendron minima, and this is a vine with like the deeply cut leaves, and that can get up to 6 to 8 feet tall indoors if you give it something to climb on. So you can always give it like a moss pole if you want something for it to root inside of, and the aerial roots will go inside the moss pole. Something else that you can use is a coconut coir pole, but with these ones, the plant doesn't really root in as opposed to like a sphagnum moss pole. All right, our next one is the philodendron atom, and this one has cute little leaves because it's a cute little plant. Its mature size is 1 to 2 feet, so it's just like a mini version of like a larger size philodendron, so it's kind of nifty. And that one just kind of grows in a mounding habit as opposed to a climbing one. Here's another mounder, the philodendron hope. This one can get up to 3 to 5 feet indoors, and its leaves eventually get kind of like serrated. You can Google these names as you go along if you see something interesting. I'm not going to like put pictures in for like copyright reasons, but the plants often do look a lot different once they're mature. This one is a crawler. It's Philodendron gloriosum dark form, and this one will like crawl along the pot, so maybe you want to plant in a pot that gets longer than like a window box or something. It was what I was trying to say. This one gets very large velvety leaves. That one's been really popular. We only got a couple of those left. We got Philodendron Summer Glory, another one that just gets a really pretty glossy leaf on it. Philodendron billii. This one's a climber, one that you can get to climb up a moss pole if you like, and has the leaves are kind of long and unusual looking. I have one of these in my personal collection and I love it. We have something called, here's like a crazy one, it's got a lot of growth on it, Philodendron giganteum. I honestly don't really know that much about it, except it gets giant leaves on it, and that's why they call it the Philodendron giganteum, like super big leaves. Alright, so we have the white wizard, which this one can climb, as well as a pink princess, but I don't think they get like grow super fast like some of the other ones. And then we have some self-heading aeroids, so the ones that just kind of stay in a mound, like this guy. So we have Philodendron Red Sun, a mature size 2 to 3 feet, and then the new leaves come out this pretty color, and then they kind of fade to more of like a green. We have Imperial Red. That one's very beautiful. Kind of the same deal, but like more darker color. Prince of Orange, which looks really similar to Red Sun, except for when you put them next to each other. And then it's just very subtly different. Moonlight, very similar, 2 to 3 feet max size. Philodendron Macaulay's Finale, another self-heading one. And then we have one called Fuzzy Petiole. This one's a vining one as well. That's a new leaf on it. It looks really cool. And I was like, did they send us the wrong plants? Because the petiole didn't look fuzzy, but I finally have a fuzzy petiole on it. There you go, you can see it now. Interesting. And then this one has very beautiful leaves on it. I think it can technically climb, but it doesn't like climb that fast, at least not in my experience. So this is Joey Pie, which I'm probably saying wrong. Of course, down here we have vining philodendrons, and we had a lot of them, so we haven't sold for them super fast, and it's starting to climb up the wall. Like, will that take paint off? Yes, it's literally attached to the paint. So definitely love it with fertilizer and under these grow lights. Now let's see whatever other ones we have. We have Painted Lady. I believe this one's a climber as well and has the variegated leaves that are beautiful. This isn't a philodendron, but sometimes people call it one, the Monstera deliciosa. So the younger ones don't have fenestrations, but then they start to get it later on. We have our Swiss cheese philodendron, that's a climber. And let's see what we have over here. So we have Paradiso Verde. Is that what this one is? Yes. It gets kind of like a variegated leaf. I showed you the one behind it because this one doesn't have a variegated one at the moment. A climber, and also burl marks, which is also a climbing philodendron. So that looks really cool. And if you train it to grow up a pole in your house, it would look very tropical. Oh, I guess there's one over here too. We have a giant ring of fire, which I put in a larger pot, and it's really growing and doing good. The philodendrons are just a small amount of the actual houseplants that we have in our store, but I just wanted to highlight them for you today. If you have any questions or comments, please make sure that you leave them in the comment section below. And thank you for watching.